Feel that for a moment. Before I say another word, just notice it in your body. There is a strange hum beneath the surface of things, a subtle softening at the edges of what you thought was solid. Perhaps it arrived in your sleep, a dream that left a residue you could not name, a feeling of being homesick for a place you have never been. Or maybe it is in your waking hours, a moment where you look at a familiar face, a familiar room, a familiar life, and it seems to flicker, just for a second, as if you are watching it through old glass or through a sheet of falling water. There may be a warmth behind your eyes that is not from exhaustion, a kind of gentle pressure that makes you want to close them and drift, a voice that whispers, "Just let go." This sensation is not your imagination. It is not fatigue. It is not a sign that you are losing your way. It is the evidence that something ancient and powerful is touching the shore of your reality. It is the first touch of the mist. Within the next 48 hours, the great oceanic planet Neptune, the keeper of dreams, illusions, and divine dissolution, will appear to stand still in the sky. It is stationing retrograde. For months, it has been moving forward, dissolving the boundaries of our collective world. But now, it pauses. And in this pause, the mist it governs does not recede. It thickens. It condenses. It turns from a universal fog into a personal, intimate vapor that curls specifically around you, around your heart, around the one question you have been too afraid to answer. This is not an external event you can watch from a distance. Its currents are already flowing through your veins, altering the chemistry of your perception. I am here to walk you through this mist, not because you are lost, but because you are standing at a threshold where the most beautiful illusions can become the most dangerous traps. And something in you, something wise and deep, already knows it. That is why you are here. The ancient world knew this energy well. They did not have telescopes to see the pale blue orb, but they knew its signature. They called it by many names, but its essence was always the same. The god of the boundless ocean, the patron of visions, the great deceiver, the divine poet. In the Hellenistic traditions, they understood that the realm of Poseidon was not just the sea, but the vast, uncharted ocean of the soul, the place where monsters and gods swim in the same deep water, where a reflection can look more real than the thing being reflected. This Neptunian pause, this retrograde station, is like the moment the tide turns. The great outward pull of the ocean ceases, and for a silent, sacred moment, the water is utterly still. But in this stillness, everything that was hidden beneath the waves begins to float to the surface. Old sorrows, forgotten dreams, idealized memories, and seductive potentials. They rise like ghosts made of sea foam, shimmering and beautiful. And they will speak to you. They will speak to you in a voice that sounds remarkably like your own deepest longing. This is the critical truth of the next 2 days. The illusions that Neptune is now perfecting are not crude deceptions. They are not theatrical lies you can easily spot. They are exquisite works of art, woven from the threads of your own authentic yearning. The mist will not show you a monster and call it a savior. It will show you a version of a savior that you yourself have been praying for, sculpted perfectly to fit the empty spaces in your life. It will whisper the exact words of validation you have been starving to hear. It will present a path that looks like the easiest, softest, most gentle way forward. It will promise relief. It will promise an end to the fight. It will promise that you can finally lay your weapons down. And that is the danger. Not because the promise is ugly, but because it is so beautiful. It is the song of the sirens calling to your exhausted ship. The song was never a shriek. The ancient poets knew this. It was the most beautiful music a sailor had ever heard, a melody that promised to heal every wound, to quench every thirst, to grant every unspoken wish. It sang of home, of glory, of love returned, of peace at last. And the sailors who heard it, they did not turn their ships toward the sound in fear. They turned in hope. They turned in relief. They turned because they finally felt seen. And in doing so, they crashed upon the rocks that were hidden just beneath the beautiful, shimmering surface of the water. The mist that is gathering around you now is singing a siren song. It is a song composed just for you. Listen. You can almost hear it now. A voice that whispers, "It wasn't so bad, was it?" A memory that begins to soften at the edges. The sharp pain of a past betrayal blurring into a romantic haze of nostalgia. A face that once caused you pain now appears in your mind's eye with a look of gentle remorse, a look they have never once offered you in reality. An opportunity arises that seems too good to be true, promising wealth without effort, intimacy without vulnerability, success without sacrifice. A conversation you know you must have, a boundary you know you must enforce, suddenly seems unnecessarily harsh, too severe. Maybe there is a gentler way, the mist whispers. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe if you just wait a little longer, it will all resolve itself. This is Neptune's illusion. It is the sacred anesthetic. It numbs the precise nerve of the truth that is calling for a difficult action. Feel this in your body. Where does the mist settle? Is it in your throat, making it hard to speak the direct, raw truth? Does it pool in your gut, loosening the knot of righteous anger that was giving you the fuel to change? Does it cloud your solar plexus, dimming the bright fire of your own will, making you feel passive, dreamy, and willing to be carried by any current that comes along? This is not relaxation. This is dissolution. And there is a profound difference. One restores you. The other can erase you. The purpose of this time is not to be tricked. You are not meant to be a victim of this celestial tide. The opposite is true. The mist is not here to confuse you. It is here to show you, with perfect, undeniable clarity, exactly where you are tempted to confuse yourself. It is a divine diagnostic tool. The places where the fog is thickest are the places where your own clarity is most needed. The siren song is not a curse. It is a map. It is pointing directly to the rocks of your own self-betrayal. The convenient fictions you tell yourself, the places where you trade your power for the promise of comfort. Neptune, in its highest expression, is the planet of divine union, of nirvana, of the ecstatic release of the small self into the cosmic whole. But to reach that state, you must first have a self to release. If you are not anchored in your own truth, Neptune does not dissolve your ego. It dissolves your very foundations. It turns your house into a swamp. And for the next few days, you are being asked to check your foundations. You are being asked to walk around your own sacred ground and test what is firm, what is real, and what is beginning to feel strangely soft and porous beneath your feet. This is not a time for big decisions. It is not a time to sign contracts, to make lifelong promises, or to accept verbal assurances from those who have a history of breaking them. It is not the time to have the big talk, if your intention is to be heard and understood by another. The mist is in their ears too. Words spoken now will be like stones thrown into a fog. They will travel a short distance and then be swallowed by the silence, their impact muffled, their meaning lost. Communication is veiled. What you hear is not what is being said. What you perceive is not what is being offered. The surface of everything is shimmering with a deceptive beauty. Think of the great wine cellars of old. For years, the grapes ferment in the dark, in sealed casks, in silence. The potential is there, the sugar, the yeast, the essence of the sun and the soil. But it is not yet wine. It is a volatile, unstable, and cloudy mixture. To open the cask too soon, to expose it to the air, to the light, is to ruin the entire vintage. It will turn to vinegar. This retrograde station of Neptune is that delicate, sacred, and volatile moment in your own process of transformation. Something in you has been fermenting in the dark. A truth, a decision, a new level of self-awareness. It is not yet stable. It is not yet clear. It is potent, but it is also impressionable. The mist is the air that can spoil the wine. Your job, right now, is not to act. It is to keep the cask sealed, to protect the sacred process that is happening within you from the distorting influence of the outside world. It says, "Be still." Do not mistake the dream for the reality. The greatest illusion will be the one that speaks to your exhaustion. If you have been fighting a long battle, the mist will whisper of truce. If you have been holding a firm boundary, it will whisper of forgiveness without amends. If you have been striving, it will whisper of effortless reward. It targets the part of the warrior that just wants to rest. It finds the pilgrim who is tired of walking and offers a beautiful mirage of an oasis right where they stand. But the oasis is not real. The truce is a surrender. The forgiveness is an erasure of a lesson you paid dearly to learn. So, what do you trust? If you cannot trust what you see, what you hear, what you are being promised, where is your anchor? It is not in your mind. The mind loves the intricate beauty of Neptune's illusions. It will build entire philosophies around a beautiful lie. It will write poetry about the siren's song. It is not even in your heart, for the heart, in its magnificent compassion, wants to believe in the best version of everyone and everything, and the mist is an expert at showing you only that. The heart can be seduced by a fantasy of love. No, your anchor is lower, deeper. It is in your bones. It is in your gut. It is in the part of you that does not speak in language but in sensation. It is the solid, earthy, undeniable feeling of truth in your physical body. It is the part of you that clenches when you hear a lie, no matter how beautifully it is spoken. It is the part of you that expands, that warms, that settles, when you are in the presence of what is real, even if it is difficult. For the next 2 days, you must learn to trust this animal body, this somatic compass, above all else. When a proposal is made to you, do not listen to the words first. Close your eyes. Feel your body. Does it tighten or release? Does it feel grounded, feet firm on the floor? Or does it feel floaty, dizzy, ungrounded? Does your breath deepen, or does it become shallow? Your body knows the difference between the ocean and a mirage. It knows the difference between a real anchor and a painted one. It will not be fooled. Let me be more direct. There is a situation in your life right now that this Neptunian mist is gathering around. There is a person, a job, a path, a story you tell yourself. You know the one. It is the one that immediately came to mind when I first spoke of the fog. It is the one where your longing is the most acute, and therefore, your potential for self-deception is the most profound. Here, the mist will be at its thickest. It will be telling you that the red flag you saw last week was just a misunderstanding. It will be telling you that the fundamental incompatibility you have felt for months is just a temporary challenge. It will be telling you that if you just soften a little more, give a little more, want a little less, then the beautiful potential you see will finally crystallize into reality. This is the most potent lie of the siren, that your softness will change the nature of the rocks. This is not a time for softness toward the outside world. It is a time for a fierce and radical softness toward yourself, which means telling yourself the truth, the raw, unvarnished, and perhaps deeply inconvenient truth. The truth that does not require anyone else's permission or validation. The truth that feels like stone in your hands, not like mist. The truth that is not a beautiful promise for tomorrow, but a solid reality under your feet today. To grasp this truth is to lash yourself to the mast of your own ship. You will still hear the song. It may even break your heart with its beauty. You will see the shimmering island and mourn for the peace it promised. But you will not crash your ship. You will not lose yourself to the mirage. Let's speak of the ancient Vedic seers. They spoke of Maya, the cosmic power of illusion. They did not see Maya as an evil force. They saw it as the very fabric of creation, the divine play of the universe that veils the ultimate reality so that we can have the experience of being individual souls. Neptune is a lord of Maya. But the seers taught that the way through Maya was not to fight it, not to deny it, but to see it for what it is. To witness the illusion without becoming lost in it. To honor the beauty of the dream while remaining anchored in the dreamer. This is your work now. You are being asked to become a witness to the beautiful lies you tell yourself. Not to judge them, not to shame them, but to see them, to name them, to understand that they are not you. They are the song you are hearing, but you are the sailor. You are the ship. And you are the deep, silent ocean beneath it all. The illusion often comes dressed as a rescuer, a person or situation that promises to solve the problem you have been unable to solve. It offers a shortcut through the difficult work of self-healing and self-creation. It says, you don't have to do this alone. And while it is true that we need connection, Neptune's illusion offers a specific kind of connection. The connection of fusion, of merging, of losing your own edges. It feels like love, but it is spiritual bypass. It is the fantasy of being saved from your own life. When this offer appears, and it will, you must ask yourself a hard question. Is this person or situation asking me to stand taller in my own sovereignty? Or are they offering me a beautiful place to kneel? Does this connection empower my own center? Or does it require me to abandon it in order to feel accepted? The mist will blur the line between these two things. Your body will know the difference. The first feels like the sun on your back. The second feels like a drug. This is a time of incredible spiritual danger, but also of immense opportunity. Because anyone who navigates this mist consciously will emerge with a kind of clarity that is forged, not given. It is the clarity of the sailor who has heard the sirens and chosen his own course anyway. He is never again as easily fooled. He has learned to trust the feeling of the ship's wheel in his own hands more than the most beautiful promise on the wind. He has learned that the destination he seeks is not on some phantom island, but within his own capacity to navigate the real, vast, and sometimes treacherous ocean. So, let us make this practical. Let us forge an anchor. I am going to walk you through a practice for the next 3 days, a ritual of clarity to hold you steady as the tide turns. Do not just listen to these words, feel them. Plan to do them. Your intention to act is the first part of the anchor itself. On the first day, which is today, as the mist is at its thickest, your work is to become a scribe of the siren's song. Take a piece of paper and a pen. No screens. This must be physical. Go to a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. For at least 15 minutes, I want you to write down every beautiful lie, every seductive whisper, every convenient excuse that you are hearing in your own mind and heart. Do not censor it. Do not judge it. Write down the temptations. He is different this time. This job will be the one that finally makes me happy, without me having to change. If I ignore the problem, it will go away. My needs are not as important as their peace. Write down the nostalgic revisions of history. Maybe those years weren't so bad. Maybe I was the one who was too sensitive. Write it all down. Give the mist a voice, but contain it on the page. You are not becoming the mist. You are observing it. Fill the page. When you are done, fold it and put it away. Do not read it again today. Your only job today is to document the song without steering toward it. On the second day, as Neptune is perfectly still, its illusory power at its absolute peak, you will build your mast. Find a stone. It doesn't have to be a crystal or anything special. A simple stone from your garden or a park will do. Hold it in your hand. Feel its weight, its coolness, its texture, its undeniable reality. It has existed for millennia before you, and will exist for millennia after you. It knows nothing of illusion. It is pure, unconditional presence. Hold this stone in your non-dominant hand. Now take out the piece of paper from yesterday. Unfold it. Read the siren song aloud. Read all the beautiful lies. And as you read them, feel the weight of the stone in your other hand. Let your body feel the contrast between the ephemeral nature of the mist on the page and the solid, enduring truth of the stone in your palm. Then, with a different colored pen, underneath each lie you wrote, I want you to write the anchor truth, the simple, hard, bone-deep truth that the lie was designed to obscure. For example, beneath "he is different this time," you might write, his pattern has not changed, only his words have. Beneath, if I ignore the problem, it will go away, you might write, my silence enables the situation to continue. Beneath, my needs are not as important as their peace, you might write, my peace is my responsibility. Be ruthless, be simple, be honest. This is not for anyone else to see. This is you lashing yourself to the mast of your own soul. The stone is your witness. It is the physical embodiment of your resolve. You are not fighting the song. You are simply choosing not to crash your ship for it. On the third day, as Neptune begins its slow, perceptible backward crawl and the mist begins to thin, you will complete the ritual. Take your paper, now marked with both the illusions and the truths. Take your stone. Go to a place where there is water. It can be an ocean, a river, a lake, or simply a bowl of water on your table, into which you have dissolved a spoonful of salt. The salt consecrates the water, turning it into a miniature ocean, a vessel of dissolution. Hold the stone firmly in your hand. Read the truths aloud one last time, not the lies, just the truths. Speak them into the world. Let your own ears hear the sound of your own clarity. Feel the vibration of those words in your chest. Then, you must release the illusion. You can burn the paper safely and let the ashes fall into the water. As you watch the smoke rise or the ashes dissolve, you are watching the siren song lose its power. You are watching the mist return to the great ocean, its energy neutralized, its hold on you released. Or, if you cannot burn it, tear the paper into tiny pieces and let them dissolve in the salt water. Watch the ink blur, the words disappear. The structure of the lies turn back into pulp, into nothing. You are giving the illusion back to Neptune, but you are keeping the wisdom. You are keeping the anchor. Keep the stone. Put it in your pocket, on your desk, by your bed. For the coming months of this retrograde, whenever you feel the mist begin to gather again, touch the stone. It will remind you of the clarity you forged in the fog. It will remind you of the truth that lives in your bones. This is not an exercise in pessimism. It is a radical act of self-love. It is the highest form of optimism. The kind that believes you are strong enough to face reality without anesthetic. The kind that believes your real life, with all its challenges and complexities, is more beautiful and more worthy than any perfect illusion. The mist promises a world without edges, without friction, without consequence. It is the seductive dream of the cosmic womb. But you are not here to remain in the womb. You are here to be born, again and again, into a more authentic, more powerful, and more honest version of yourself. And birth requires friction. It requires pressure. It requires distinguishing between what is real and what is not. Think of the great alchemists. They knew that the prima materia, the base material of transformation, was often a chaotic, murky, and undifferentiated substance, a Neptunian soup. Their first great task was not to add something new, but to perform the act of separatio. Separation. To distinguish the subtle from the gross, the volatile from the fixed, the air from the earth. This is what you are doing. You are performing an act of psychic alchemy. You are separating the mist of your longing from the stone of your truth. Out of this separation, the philosopher's stone is born. Not a stone that turns lead to gold, but a state of consciousness that can distinguish truth from illusion, and therefore can navigate the world with wisdom and power. You did not find this message by accident. Something in you recognized the change in the weather before you had a name for it. You felt the barometric pressure of your own soul dropping, and you went looking for a lighthouse. You felt the ship begin to drift, ever so slightly from its course, and you reached for the wheel. Your presence here is the evidence of your own strength. It is proof that the deepest part of you is not interested in illusions, no matter how beautiful. It is interested in what is real. So as you move through these next hours, be gentle with yourself, but be vigilant. When you hear the siren song, and you will, do not chastise yourself for being tempted. Do not shame the part of you that wants to believe it. That part is just tired. It is just hurt. It is just longing for peace. Acknowledge its yearning with infinite compassion. Say to it, I hear you. I see what you want. I know why this song is so beautiful to you. But I am at the helm, and I will not crash this ship. I will not sacrifice our future for a moment of false comfort. I will hold the stone for both of us. This is the conversation of true self-love. It is the dialogue between the weary sailor and the wise captain that lives inside of you. Neptune is testing which one is in charge of your ship. This is the whole initiation. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it is loving enough to show you where you are still giving your power away to a beautiful fantasy. It is loving enough to create a storm that forces you to learn how to truly sail. The clarity you forge now will echo for months to come. The boundary you hold, the truth you anchor into, will become the foundation upon which you build as Neptune moves backward through the zodiac. Every time you touch your stone, you will be reactivating this moment of profound choice, this sacred commitment to your own reality. So let your final act of anchoring be a declaration. In the space below, for others to witness, not for me, but for yourself, and for those who are also navigating this mist, write the words, "I hear the song, but I hold the stone." To write it is to make it real. It is to cast a vote for your own clarity. And you must know, someone beneath your words, someone who is feeling lost in the fog and is about to turn their ship toward the rocks, will find courage in your declaration. Your truth will become a lighthouse for them. This is how we navigate the great ocean together, by holding our own anchors and letting our light shine for the other ships in the night. I have spent many hours in the quiet, studying these currents, listening to the ancient whispers, so that the course I lay out for you would be clear, so that you would have a map and a compass when the fog rolled in. Now, it is your turn to take the helm. Subscribe and ring the bell so that you do not miss the next turn of the tide. We will navigate it together. The mist does not last forever, but the truth you find within it will. Hold the stone.